Hi, my name's Dr. Sophie Shotter and I'm the founder and medical director at Illuminate Skin Clinic. I'm going to talk to you today about 5 things that happen to your skin during menopause and what you can do to help address them. A really common one that everyone talks about is dryness. So as we go through menopause, our skin starts to produce less natural oils, and those are really important for keeping our skin looking dewy, looking nourished, and also for keeping water in the skin. So as our lipid barrier deteriorates, we get more what we call transepidermal water loss. So a lot of women find that they are much drier than they were pre-menopause. Ingredients to look out for: I'm a big fan of ceramides for this. So ceramides are fatty acids that are responsible. They're part of your skin's barrier, and using them in your skincare will help to nourish, to help to restore the membranes of your skin that help keep the moisture inside. Hyaluronic acid is another great ingredient. It's like your skin's natural sponge and will help your skin to hang on to more water. So as much as you might think, oh, I'm dehydrated, I need to drink more, that's actually going to do very, very little unless you are also using the right product to lock that moisture into the skin. The second thing I'm going to talk about is a loss of firmness, a sagging, a loss of elasticity. So a lot of women don't realise that within the first 5 years of menopause, we lose 30% of our collagen. And afterwards, it continues at an accelerated rate compared with pre-menopause. So I've always believed we age in spurts, like we grow in spurts in puberty, we age in spurts as well. And menopause is a big aging spurt for women. Many women notice all of a sudden that they age quite dramatically and the change in their appearance starts to bother them. A lot of that is driven by this loss of elasticity and loss of collagen. So again, what can you do about it? At home, I'm a big fan here of using retinol. Retinol is a very powerful stimulator of the fibroblast cells so it helps to stimulate them to produce more collagen. Bakuchiol is also another ingredient which has been shown to be a very powerful collagen stimulator, and those two can be used synergistically, or if you struggle with retinol due to skin irritation, then the bakuchiol might be a good alternative. Another thing I'm a big fan of here is some form of estrogen or estrogen analogue. So not everyone wants to take HRT, and there are alternative options, but something else a lot of women notice is that their skin, no matter what products they put on after menopause, it doesn't get the results out of those products that it used to. And that's because without estrogen binding to the estrogen receptors on your collagen producing cells, you just can't, they will not be driven in the same way. So there are now products available which are not hormonal, which do not have an impact on your overall body, so are suitable for people who have a high cancer risk, for example, but which will help your skin to think it has more estrogen in it and therefore preserve its elasticity and firmness. So that's a really good top tip. Fine lines and wrinkles are my third thing that people start to notice. Again, it's driven by this loss of collagen. We move a lot, our face expresses, and then as we lose that collagen, we lose the structural integrity of the skin, and so our skin creases with movement. So those fine lines and wrinkles are a common thing to see. What can we do about them? Using peptides in skincare can be really helpful. There are some peptides that almost behave a little bit like some in-clinic treatments to relax wrinkles, and on a very micro level will help to relax the muscle movement a little bit. Another top tip here is hyaluronic acid again. It's such a great ingredient, but it will also help your skin to plump out those fine lines, and there are some real hero products that can target those lines and wrinkles. One that is maybe a little bit different is talking about breakouts. A lot of women who've had great skin through the rest of their adult life suddenly start to experience some spots in menopause. And that, even though all of our hormone levels drop, our estrogen, our progesterone and our testosterone all drop, What often happens is that the estrogen drops far more quickly than the testosterone. So you might still have less testosterone than would be ideal, but because you've proportionately got more of it than estrogen, you start to develop the problems associated with lots of testosterone. So that can be unwanted hair growth, it can be spots. So again, it can be treated. Again, a great option is to go down the route of hormone balancing and maybe looking at bringing your hormones back into kilter. Apart from that, I would use treatments targeted at adult acne. So for example, using some salicylic acid, sometimes even some benzoyl peroxide can be helpful, but salicylic acid for me is a real hero ingredient. But also remembering that we need to address the fact that your skin may still have some dehydration and dryness. So it is quite important to get expert advice on the right product to use if you're breaking out but dry in other parts of the face. The last one I'm going to talk about is dullness. So what happens as we age and as we go through menopause is that the turnover of our skin slows down. So the new skin cells that are being pushed through at the base of our skin, they are coming through much more slowly, which means we get a build-up of dead skin cells on the surface, and that can lead to that loss of radiance. Your skin just doesn't look healthy. What can we do about it? I would recommend using some exfoliants. I'm a big fan of chemical exfoliants, using some alpha hydroxy acid, so glycolic acid, lactic acid, salicylic acid in some cases, but it can be a little bit drying, so not for all menopausal skins. You can also use scrubs, but be very, very careful about what you choose. I would recommend to use either one with microdermabrasion crystals in or round microbeads, but never one with uneven kernel particles, for example. You should never need to use a scrub more than twice a week, and if you're prone to sensitive skin or thread veins, it's best to avoid them and stick to chemical exfoliants. One final thing I'm going to add is actually that a lot of women start to suffer with rosacea at menopause, and it's something that's very, very underdiagnosed. You might only have a very mild form of it, or you might develop some more severe papules or pustules, but it's something that hormonal shift often triggers. And I think in the UK is really underdiagnosed. So if you're starting to find your skin is much more sensitive than usual, is redder than usual, maybe develops a few small bumps, you're getting some thread veins, it might be worth getting the advice of a skin expert. Hope that helps.